إن في خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف الليل والنهار لآيات لأولي الألباب.
May the peace and blessings of Allah the Almighty be upon us. This is Islam and Science, a program brought to you by the Wahab Adam Studios of MTA International Africa 2. On this show, we usually discuss issues to get to understand the differences and similarities between Islam and science. And today on the program, we are continuing with a previous discussion we did on women and birth issues. Today, the concentration is on menstruation. What is it? What is the measurement of pain and several other things associated with menstruation? With me to do the discussion are to my immediate left, Dr. Osman Kobina Ejepon. Doctor is a pediatrician at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. And next to him is Molvi Ishaq Opoku. He is a missionary with the Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission. Gentlemen, welcome to Islam and Science.
Thank you. Thank you.
When we say menstruation, what is it? Doctor?
So menstruation is a monthly cyclical condition that women go through.
Okay.
It mainly occurs due to the womb, the lining of the womb sloughing out after hormones in the woman going through some cycles.
Okay.
And this comes out as blood that comes out for a few days.
Okay.
In the month.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is briefly what menstruation is.
Okay. So usually when it comes to Islam, people usually think, oh, issues relating to sex, menstruation, and the rest are not supposed to even be discussed in public. Is that correct?
Thank you very much. Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. You see, Allah Almighty has mentioned it himself in the Holy Quran. This menstruation, issue of menstruation. Allah Almighty has mentioned in Quran chapter 2 verse 223, Surah Al-Baqarah. He says that, O Prophet, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when they ask thee concerning menstruation, when your people ask you concerning menstruation, he says, Kul huwa aza. Say, tell them that it is something painful.
Okay.
It is hurtful. Stay away from the woman during menstruation. Wala takrabuhunna hatta yatahurna.
Okay.
That do not go in unto them until they are pure.
Okay.
You see, this should not be misunderstood. That, for instance, when a wife menstruates, a wife is in a state of menstruation, the husband would have to stay away completely from the wife.
Okay.
He should not even go near
the
wife. No, that is not the issue. Because we read from a hadith in the life of the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that he used to fondle the wives even during menstruation. Though they cover themselves very well, but you can fondle. So that tells us that you should not say because the wife is in her menses, you will not even want to see her face. That is not what Islam says. But the issue of coition, sexual intercourse, should not be done during menstruation. وَلَا تَقْرَبُوهُنَّ حَتَّى يَطْهُرْنَ. So do not go in unto them until they are pure.
Okay.
And then he says that, Allah Almighty says that, فَإِذَا تَطَهَّرْنَا فَأْتُوهُنَّ مِنْ حَيْثُ أَمَرَكُمُ اللَّهُ. He says that, and when they are in a state of purity, then go in unto them as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded you. Inna Allah yuhibbu tawabina wa yuhibbu al-mutatahhirin. Surely Allah loves those who turn to Him in repentance, and He loves those who purify themselves. This tells us that if we go in unto them during the state of menstruation, definitely we are also not going to be pure. You see, so that is why Allah Almighty says that we should stay away from them. We should not go in unto them. That is sexual intercourse till they purify themselves. You see, after this menstruation, Allah Almighty has, through the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, taught us that we should, the women should perform what they call janaba. You see, the ghusl, the spiritual bath, before they even start praying. You see, so this tells clearly the situation of a man who go in onto the wife or a lady
that is
during menstruation. So Allah has mentioned in the Holy Quran.
So it's Islam position that stay away from going in onto your women when they are menstruating, because it is painful and it is also not pure. Doctor, is there a justification to that? Is it really necessary that, as far as sex is concerned, we stay away from women that are menstruating? For under that circumstance, they are going through pain. What is coming out of them is dirty. It is not clean or pure. Do you see any justification to that?
Yes. The issue about pain is obvious. So, I mean, naturally, for any human being, if you are in pain, you don't want to do anything that will cause you more discomfort. But it's interesting that the Quran talks about purity, because we know that during menstruation, what is coming out, because it's blood, if you should have sexual intercourse, is there risk of getting infection. Because we know clearly that the infections like HIV, like hepatitis, even without menstruation, just because of the act of the intercourse, the friction, and all the fluid mixing, you can get them easily without, even when there's no menstruation. But if there's menstruation and there's blood, the probability of contracting these illnesses really doubles. It becomes very high. So it really falls in line with what Quran is saying, that you should keep yourself pure. In other words, don't get yourself diseases by going into them during this time, for you to have the high risk of contracting some of these illnesses. So from scientific point of view, it clearly shows that it's not a good thing to have sexual intercourse during menstruation.
You see, to add just a little to what Dr. Sao has said, you see, Allah Almighty mentioning that the Holy Prophet ﷺ, when questioned about menstruation, should say that huwa aza, that it is a painful and hurtful thing. The word aza, which Allah Almighty used in the Holy Quran here, does not only mean a painful or hurtful thing. It also means, something of discomfort. You see, and then annoyance. You see, and then the women who observe this can tell better what they really go through in the course of menstruation. And then we all understand that that affair is there for a couple to, in a way, procreate and then enjoy themselves also. So if there is that kind of discomfort and then annoyance it does not even give the guarantee for such an act, okay, to be enjoyed or to go on. Definitely. I think the woman can tell better.
Okay. So why does the Quran and Hadith also say that women in this state should not pray?
You see, prayer, it is something of the divine.
Okay.
Okay. And then when even we are going to our lesser chiefs,
Okay.
Okay, or even our elders, we go with, clean clothes, well dressed, well polished before we go in front of our elders. Now, what of the Creator Himself, the Almighty, the Supreme Being?
Yeah.
Okay, so we go in front of Him in a state of complete purity.
Okay.
Now, during this blood flow, should it happen that a lady goes into a mosque or a praying center, a prayer center, and then a part of the blood flow on the floor, you see that
by mistake?
Yes, by mistake. Okay, coincidentally, it can spoil the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And then the people around there will be affected. Okay, it is going to disrupt their connection between Allah. Okay, so that is why it is advised that they shouldn't go for prayers during that period. Okay, and then also, you see, like I said, they can tell better the situation, how painful it is, and then how annoying it is according to the Holy Quran, how discomfort it is. Allah Almighty says that وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَأَنْتُمْ سُكَارَى. That do not go near prayer while you are not of a pure mind, while you are not comfortable in mind.
Okay.
You see, now if a lady with such a pain goes to stand to pray in front of God, you see that definitely she's going to lose concentration. Okay. And then Allah Almighty has also warned those who pray and then are heedless of their prayers. So these are.
So you must be all there.
Yes.
Your senses must all be there before you are able
concentrate
to concentrate. But menstruation comes with pain and discomfort such that it might disrupt or interfere with your dealing with your Creator. So, Doctor, sometimes, in fact, they say menstruating women should not fast. Why? Do you hold that opinion?
I think in line with what obviously I have said, during the menstruation period, they go through a lot of pain. Okay. And during, it's interesting to know that the pain of menstruation doesn't actually ease with age. So when they start menstruating at whatever age, around 11, 12, 13 years, the pain that they go through, you think, as they get older, and some say, if you give birth, your menstruation pain will go down. It doesn't go down. It's always there. You feel the pain.
Or maybe because you have been doing it always, you are getting somewhat used to it and how to manage your condition.
It doesn't work that way. Unfortunately, the pain is always as severe as
from day one.
From the beginning. So if you are in such pain and you have to fast in addition, you will not be in the right frame of mind to really concentrate and be connected to your Creator as you are expected in prayer. And during this time too, some women have to take medication to relieve the pain they go through. So if you engage yourself in fast, you may not be able to take the medication that you are supposed to take. So scientifically, it makes perfect sense that if you are going through such a pain
you should abstain.
You should abstain from fasting because you are not in the right frame of mind, and you may get the need to take some medication to relieve your pain.
Okay. And could it not also be that because menstruating women lose a lot of blood, to add hunger to it will kind of make it worse?
Yes, I get the point you're saying, that I can even look at it from the point of even losing fluid, because when you are menstruating, it's blood, and even though it's not a lot of blood, you are losing some fluid, and you want to replace such fluid. Okay. So it definitely doesn't make sense that you should be abstaining from fluid and water.
Yeah. So Movisai, yes, this view has been held by Islam from day one, that when a woman is menstruating, she is not supposed to fast. What might be the logic behind this practice?
Thank you very much. You see, just as I mentioned about the salat. Okay. Fasting, we fast for Allah Almighty. Okay. We fast for Allah Almighty. And then we do it for Him.
Okay.
And then if something belongs to Allah Almighty, it means that He has got the power to tell us how He wants it to be done.
Okay.
That is why He has, through the Holy Prophet Muhammad, on whom be peace and blessings, taught us that when a woman is menstruating, she is not supposed to fast. Okay. So now, first of all, as a command of Allah, and then we are bound as believers to abide by the injunctions of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And there is a rationale behind, as Dr. Saab also just mentioned, that there has got some health, consequences if women are to go against such a divine instruction of Allah Almighty. So definitely they are going to face some, problems in the long run.
Okay. So, Doctor, do you have any last words to add?
My last comment is that menstruation is something naturally that Allah Ta'ala has designed for women. And it's well regulated by the body. And if you connect it to what the injunctions that the Quran give, it follows perfectly with what science also recommends. Because logically, when you are not in the right frame of mind, that is, you are in a lot of pain, you don't want to do things that needs a lot of concentration, like prayers, like fasting. So in my view, it's really very interesting that the Quran mentioned them and admonish believers to stay away from some of these things. And scientifically, when you really critically examine it, it makes sense that you should stay away from it.
You should stay away. So in that regard, you concord with what Movi has submitted on that. So Movi Sahib, you have any last comments?
Yeah, thank you. You see, my last comment would be that Islam is science. And then as we dive deep into scientific pursuit, we should also try to dive into religious studies. So that if we compare, we see that Allah Almighty is indeed powerful. All those scientific, approaches would serve as Allah Almighty's science for us to believe in His existence. So that is my humble submission.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming. We have come to the end of the program, Islam and Science. We have been discussing women and birth issues, and we concentrated on menstruation. my guests have mentioned and have actually come to the agreement that menstruation is a painful thing, and that for this reason, we should always stay away from our women sexually, because the whole act of menstruation isn't pure. But this does not mean that we should shun the women completely. For same day, same time next week, join us for another discussion. My name is Hafiz Din Akram, and my guests have been Movi Ishaq Opoku. He is a missionary with the Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission, and Dr. Osman Kobina Ejapon is a pediatrician at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. The show remains Islam and Science. May the peace and blessings of Allah the Almighty be upon us all.